What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, we have some really cool things we want to talk about. Paul McBeth played his full first round without a boot on. Brodie Smith played his first full round solo now that he's back at home. He looks like he's playing really well. And there's been a rule change with the PDGA, and Innova Discs is coming out with a couple of new discs that actually, they're kind of interesting at best to me. So we'll get to go over all those things, and we'll go ahead and start with Paul. So Paul McBeth, he just posted this video, him and Hannah did. So we can see in the last video we touched on he wasn't wearing a boot, but he was wearing a brace. They didn't mention the brace in this video. It doesn't look like he has a brace on at all. It looks like he's just playing. So they're out throwing some shots. There wasn't very many long holes. It's definitely good to see Paul McBeth out throwing at a high level. There was one thing that I noticed with his tee shots that I wanted to point out. There's actually something he does that I want to try out. One thing that Paul does, it seems like on nearly every drive, he starts on like the back right corner of the tee pad, and he sort of always moves to the left side of the tee pad. This is something that he does that I've actually never noticed before, and it's something that I think makes sense because when you're moving to the left of the tee pad, it makes that plant foot able to land again a little bit over to the left, which is going to help you keep your hips tight and help you generate more power. So if we look, he's all the way off to the right corner. And you can see he's traveled from one corner of the tee pad all the way to the other. Being in this position and just moving slightly to the left across the tee pad is definitely a good way to ensure that you never mess that part of the sort of the plant foot process. So now we'll just jump up to Brodie's round. Brodie was playing at the Dashes Disc Golf Park in Texas, and if you go on UDisc, it says he shot a 40 on there. So if it's a par 56, that would mean he went out and shot 16 under. So that's pretty crazy. I'm looking at his UDisc stats, and it shows that he's got a 40, a 42, and a 43. In this video, he doesn't shoot quite that well, but he's definitely out practicing. It's pretty cool. You can actually, if you know what courses he plays at, you can literally just go on UDisc and see how he's playing, and you can see if he's getting better. So he is actually #1 on the leaderboards for the last 30 days and #2 on the leaderboards in the year of 2020 at this course. So he's shooting really well. It's good to see he's out practicing, and I'm really excited to see the content that he's going to bring for disc golf, because I was always hoping Brody would start playing more disc golf because it's really cool. Now, that's irrelevant. So there was a new rule change in the PDGA that it actually doesn't have that much of an effect, but it's definitely a change, and I think it's gonna get more severe as time goes on. So they've passed a new rule, the ratings minimum to compete in Elite Series events. You now have to be 900 rated or better. Now, most of the people who play and are competitive in these Elite Series events are, in fact, much over 1,000 rated, so this isn't a problem for them. This is more of a problem for people who live in these towns that run these, they just have that national tour event and they live in that area, so they figure, you know what, it's here, I'm just going to play in it, but, they may not be 900 rated. This is going to affect the locals who play that course all the time, who just aren't 900 rated. So those people aren't going to be able to compete in these events anymore. And I find that, it's a good rule change. I was kind of surprised. I heard they were going to change this rule. I was assuming it would be like 950 or 970 because, again, people who play in major events and travel and tour are way higher rated than that anyway. This is literally just to target the bottom 10% of players that show up to these events. Now they won't be able to sign up. And if you're wondering what the Elite Series events are, I didn't know what that meant either. So the PDGA Elite Series events are basically the National Tour and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So obviously the major events, the Memorial Waco, Texas State Disc Golf Championships, Played Against Sports, Jonesboro Open, all the major events are classified as elite series events. So this, would kind of bother me. I used to live in Vermont, and if I still lived in Vermont, I would want to play in this event. Granted, I am over 900 rated, so I could still participate in the event. If I wasn't 900 rated, I could live 10 minutes from Smuggler's Notch and not be allowed to sign up to this tournament because, let's say I was 895 rated, I'd be pretty frustrated that I couldn't sign up for an event so close to my house. So I think that rule change basically is just hurting the local players, and it's probably just to keep the pace of play moving the right way, keep the professionalism at the highest level, and keep the pro players at the pro events. So this is definitely a step towards keeping the pro players at the pro events and then making it slightly more exclusive. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Innova Warhog. So the Innova Warhog is an overstable approach disc that just got approved by the PDGA. So this is a new mold that'll be coming out. It was approved on January 30th of this year, so about 10, 11 days ago. And basically it looks like just another, I feel like this is something that they must have made for like Ricky Wasaki. Maybe there's a change that he wants on the pig, and they're just coming out with this to basically change a spec on the pig. It's literally just another overstable approach disc because they already have the pig and they have the hog, which is just a pig with the Blizzard Champion rim, so it glides even less. And now they have this one, which is like, I don't know, just kind of the same thing. So let me know if you guys are interested in seeing a review on that, because I would be willing to get one and then test it out literally just for the purpose of making a review. But yeah, overstable approach disc, new disc from Innova. The second new disc from Innova is going to be the Innova Invictus. This was approved the exact same day, Jan 30. This is supposed to be like basically a faster Firebird. So it's going to be a disc that's going to be crazy overstable. And I'm under the impression that they basically designed this disc with Garrett Gurthie in mind because he throws so hard. He needs crazy overstable discs. So if you don't have 600 foot distance, like this isn't going to be a normal distance driver for you. This is going to be just like a faster Firebird. Honestly, there's definitely some overlap with these new discs. I'm not like super duper impressed, but maybe they'll be really good. Who knows? So maybe this will be just like the Innova's exact copy of the Discmania FD3. But yeah, we'll see about that. So I'm excited to see that they're actually still coming out with new discs. I'm just not super excited about what they decided to come out with. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you for tuning in. This is Iceberg TV News, and take care.
Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Oh. I hate disc golf.